Hi and Happy New Year. If you're new to the channel, I'm Herb the Heart Pharmacist, where I help people navigate through the world of medications to keep your heart happy and healthy. Today's video, we're going to dive into a mineral that is quite essential but often overlooked. Yes, you guessed it. It's magnesium. First, we'll explore why magnesium is so crucial for the body. Then we'll go into why standard blood tests often fail to detect true magnesium deficiency. And finally, we'll go over several tangible tips that you can do to help lower your chances of being magnesium deficient. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So magnesium isn't just another mineral. Magnesium is actually the fourth most abundant mineral in the body that actually serves as a cofactor for over 600 different enzymes in your body. It's essential for energy production. Every cell in your body actually depends on magnesium to make something called ATP, which is sort of like your energy currency. It's important for your heart health as it helps to stabilize your heart rhythm as well as manage your blood pressure to some degree. Magnesium also helps to regulate nerve impulses, that helps to prevent overstimulation, that can help prevent things like spasms or seizures. It may even help for things like relaxation and sleep, which is why I personally use it. It's also important for helping to regulate bone health. It actually works with both calcium and vitamin D to help your bones become nice and strong to help prevent fractures as we all age. Without magnesium, your body just doesn't absorb calcium as well and as efficiently. In fact, about 60% of your body's magnesium is actually inside of your bones, while the rest of the magnesium is just in the rest of the body. So when your magnesium levels are low, your body actually pulls magnesium out of your bones from its stores to maintain its critical functions, while it then leaves your bones to be more vulnerable to things like fractures and such. Magnesium deficiency has also been linked to cardiovascular disease, issues with metabolic disorders, and even like migraines. Magnesium is also known as sort of like a natural stress reliever. It helps to regulate neurotransmitters like serotonin, which is crucial for mental health. Studies have also linked magnesium deficiency to depression, anxiety, or even insomnia. The problem is that most people don't get enough magnesium in their regular diet because of things like processed foods, sodas, etc. Most modern diets do tend to favor less nutrient-dense rich foods. The result, there's probably an epidemic of magnesium deficiency that's kind of under the radar worldwide. Now, here's the kicker. Only 0.3% of your body's magnesium is actually in your blood. Most of it is, like I said, hidden in your bones as well as things as your muscles. This means that if your serum or your blood concentrations of magnesium are normal, doesn't necessarily mean that you're not deficient. So even if your blood test shows that it's normal, you might actually be running on empty without even knowing. There is some recent evidence to suggest that serum magnesium might not actually be the best marker to detect deficiency. There are other tests that can be done. They're not widely available, unfortunately, like the magnesium calcium ratio or something called the RBC magnesium test. There are actually other tests that can be done as well. I don't actually know where you can obtain these. I know that you can probably get them in the States somewhere, probably privately. There's one called the 24-hour urine magnesium load test, where they basically give you through intravenous and they collect your urine for 24 hours and then they see how much your body actually excretes. Studies have shown that for the healthy average individual, that they may retain about 2 to 8% of the magnesium load, whereas those who retain over a quarter of that intravenous load are highly indicative that they might actually be truly magnesium deficient. There's also the hair mineral analysis test that can be done, which I think can be done in BC, Canada, where I reside. I know it's used in forensics and for things like DNA analysis. It can also be used to help to detect the exposure of heavy metals in the body, and I think it can also detect things like magnesium as well. Like I said before, I really don't know where these things can or actually are done. You can ask around. For the RBC magnesium test, that I think you can pay for that privately and you can find things online. I think there's a company that services these kits that can be done out in Quebec or Manitoba. So you'll just have to do some online searching. It seems kind of cumbersome and a lot of work and kind of expensive. So your best bet is probably just to assume that you may be somewhat deficient and just supplement or increase your dietary intake of magnesium, as there's probably little harm in a little bit of magnesium supplementation. The good news is that there are several easy steps that you can do to help make sure that your magnesium levels are not too low. Number one, consume foods that are naturally high in magnesium. Things like seeds and nuts like almonds, cashews, pumpkin seeds, things like whole grains, brown rice, quinoa, green leafy vegetables, spinach, kale, Swiss chard, legumes like lentils, black beans, chickpeas. I actually prefer the taste of chickpeas if I cook them myself over canned chickpeas. What I generally do is I just have this yogurt container half full of chickpeas and I soak it overnight. Then I throw them in the pressure cooker with some water, set it to high and leave it there for like 10 minutes. Quick release. You get delicious chickpeas that you can use for salads and various different things. If I'm wanting to make something like hummus, then what I'll generally do is I'll leave it in there for a little bit longer, so like 15 minutes or so. One of the recent recipes I've been tinkering around with is a gochujang spicy hummus, where I'll throw things like a couple of spoonfuls of gochujang, which is like a spicy Korean pepper paste. It's like one of the most amazing things that you can put on like a cracker. That's like a very satisfying snack. I'll take that extra aquafaba and I'll store it away in the fridge and put in things like soup, or even like inside the pancake mix, just so that I don't end up wasting any of it. Number two, you can consider magnesium supplementation. So there are the inorganic salts as well as the organic salts. So the inorganic ones are generally the ones that sound like that there's an element attached to them. So things like magnesium chloride, magnesium sulfate, magnesium oxide, magnesium hydroxide, magnesium phosphate. So these things are generally less what we call bioavailable, so it doesn't absorb into your body as well, but they're generally less expensive. Whereas there are the organic ones that are things like magnesium citrate, magnesium glycinate, magnesium lactate, magnesium threonate, magnesium bisglycinate. So these ones are generally better absorbed in the gut, but as a trade-off, they are generally a little bit more expensive. This is not a sponsored video, but I personally use the Weber Naturals magnesium bisglycinate that you can purchase from Costco. It's 200 milligrams, and I just take one every evening before bedtime. This helps me to relax, and I get a good night's rest on most nights, provided that my kids are not waking up in the middle of the night and waking me up. It's technically not pure magnesium bisglycinate, as it does contain other inorganic and organic salts as well. But as you can probably tell, I'm a guy who loves a good deal. Come on, I'm Asian. The key is to start low and go slow. But really, most people, so men, the recommended daily allowance for magnesium is about 420 milligrams, and women it's about 320 milligrams of your total magnesium intake for the day. So if you just take one every day of the 200, that's probably more than enough if you have a good, healthy, nutrient-rich diet. Always consult your own healthcare provider in case you are on other medications that could interfere. Things like thyroid medicines, antibiotics. For women who are pregnant, maybe some blood pressure lowering medications, and check in with them just before starting these supplements just to be on the safe side. Number three, minimize the losses of magnesium. Be on the lookout for things that can make you lose magnesium more than you would like. Things like drinking sodas. The phosphoric acid in things like carbonated beverages can leach magnesium out of your body. Alcohol, for example, especially chronic alcohol intake, can lead to malnutrition, malabsorption, and also make you pee more and pee more of that magnesium out of your body. There are certain medications that can interfere with magnesium. So chronic exposure to things like heartburn medications that help prevent ulcers, like pantoprazole, omeprazole, diuretics that can be used for managing edema or controlling blood pressure, or even high doses of zinc can do that on a long-term basis. So just be mindful that those things can also occur as well. Again, if you're concerned about this, go have a chat with your friendly neighborhood community pharmacist. Just don't do it during their peak hours or when they're just about to close a store. That's a hot tip. You're welcome, community colleagues. And don't forget, make sure that you're well hydrated, that you're consuming the right foods, also maintaining a very healthy gut, because stomach or intestinal losses through things like diarrhea on a chronic basis can lead you to become magnesium deficient without you even realizing it. So that's enough from me, and now it's your turn. If you have any questions about things like magnesium or any other medications pertaining to your heart, drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with a friend, or subscribe. These little things really come a long way in helping this little channel find the right audience through the whole YouTube algorithm. I'm actually astonished that this channel is just less than 100 subscribers away from reaching 1,000. So hopefully that's a sign that there's enough interest out there for people to hear what I have to share. And I'm absolutely grateful for everybody's contribution to this channel so far. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one. Stay happy, healthy, and remember to say no to drugs.